Paul Skenes has been as good as advertised so far in his major league debut. In his first 3 starts, he's got an ERA under 2.5. He's been striking out guys left, right, and center. And yesterday was just another great step in the right direction for him. So we'll break down his dominant start to his major league career and much more in this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Peter Vryonis. Welcome into 3 Up, 3 Down. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and like this video. Comment on it for what you'd like to see in the future. But today we're going to be talking about Paul Skenes, who had another dominant outing yesterday. And he's been on a tear to start off his major league career. It's been very impressive to watch. And he's as good as advertised so far. We all knew about the stuff. We all knew about the 100-mile-an-hour fastball, the 96 to 98-mile-an-hour splinker. And that's making a case to be the most unique pitch in baseball, the way that he's been throwing it and the effectiveness of which he's been throwing it as well. It's been great to watch. He's been must-watch TV every single time he's stepped on the bump. And the Pittsburgh Pirates are really set up nicely for the future here with Jared Jones and Paul Skenes for at least the next decade headlining that rotation. And it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. But I want to focus on Paul Skenes, and I want to zero in on a fan who had some interesting things to say about the young right-hander.
Okay, good, but I have to ask you, what's your favorite thing about Mr. Paul Skenes? His mustache and Livy Dunn.
I mean, that's funny right there, but what's this kid doing on TikTok? He looks like he's 8 years old, and I don't know, different generation. I'm 24, and I did not have a phone or a cellular device until I was like 14. So definitely a different generation. Starting to get old. I'm starting to feel it. But yeah, let's listen to that one more time.
Okay, good. But I have to ask you, what's your favorite thing about Mr. Paul Skenes? His mustache and Livy Dunn.
So as you can see, he's rocking the Paul Skenes mustache. And he said his favorite thing about Paul Skenes is his mustache and Livy Dunn. Shout out to that kid, man. Shout out to that kid. He's saying it like it is, and you can't argue with that logic. But let's take a look at a couple of pitches that I really want to focus on from yesterday's appearance with Paul Skenes. And the first one is this nasty slider that he threw. It just falls off the table, and that's not some no-name hitter right there. That's Jorge Soler, who he's making look foolish up there in the box. Oh my goodness, it's just nasty. And the other one, I spoke about it briefly in the intro. It was his 96-mile-an-hour splinker that just demolishes hitters. Let's take a look. What kind of swing is that? That's a swing that you see on a pitch that you just don't see very often. Let's take another look at that. And he disguises it really well. It looks exactly like a fastball. It's only a few miles an hour slower than his actual four-seamer, which makes it even harder to hit, I think. And 94 miles an hour with downward movement, you don't really see that very often. The only other guy that throws that kind of pitch is Johan Duran of the Minnesota Twins. Let's take one more look at that pitch right there. It's just disgusting. It's just disgusting. You see that movement, that late break on it, and he makes that San Francisco Giants hitter look foolish. So he's been very impressive to watch so far in his major league career, and that was his stat line from yesterday. 6 innings pitched, 6 hits given up, only 1 walk, 1 earned run, and the 3 strikeouts, which is not the most impressive total for Paul Skenes, considering that he had 6 no-hit innings in his previous outing, but that's still nothing to laugh at right there. And we got to give him a lot of credit for the way that he's come out and just shown that he belongs at the big league level. This was it was a big question mark. We knew that he was going to be the first overall pick, but he gives up a lot of hard contact. We were wondering, okay, how is it going to transition? You can't just blow every hitter away in the major leagues, but hasn't really been a problem for him in his first couple of outings. And the way that Wyatt Langford performed in his first go around in spring training didn't really translate to the regular season. But people were wondering, why wasn't he the number 1 overall pick? He's looking like a generational type of hitter, but Paul Skenes has been as good as advertised and just so impressive to watch. Let's take a look at his stat line one more time there. 6 innings pitched, 6 hits given up, 1 earned run, 1 walk, which is very encouraging, and then 3 strikeouts. And his baseball savant here as well. It just shows you the fastball velo, it's second only behind Mason Miller of the Oakland Athletics, who I made a video on yesterday, so go check that out. And the other metrics are pretty elite as well. You see he gives up some hard hit contact, and the barrel percentage is not exactly where you'd like it to be. His walks per 9 kind of middle of the pack as well, but everything else is in the red, and he's just making good pitches. He's effective at most times, and he's lasted a lot longer than I thought he would. I thought he would be on a restriction, but they've let him go pretty much 90 to 100 pitches in most of his outings that he's had. Had 6 no-hit innings the other outing, the one previous to this one, and he threw 100 pitches in that one, or close to that number. So it doesn't seem like there's any shackles on Paul Skenes, and he's really able to go out there and pitch freely and not have to worry about coming out of the game in the 4th inning and then turning it over to the bullpen. Now, the Pirates did lose yesterday, and it was, the bullpen kind of collapsed. But Skenes, for 6 innings, was really good and gave him a chance to win. And I think he's going to be a top-of-the-line guy in that rotation for a long, long time. He's been so impressive to watch, and I've been very happy with what I've seen so far. I'm wearing the Pirates hat. I'm not a Pirates fan, but I've been watching every Paul Skenes start, and just the way that he's attacking these veteran hitters on opposing major league teams has been the thing that has stood out to me, right? And just seeing him go up there and know how confident he should be and how good he is, that's been the most impressive part about Paul Skenes so far. So I'm hoping that he could keep it going. It's been a treat to watch. He reminds me a lot of Steven Strasburg. I don't know what you guys think of that comparison, but Strasburg is... We know how good Strasburg was. I mean, he won World Series MVP. He was ace for a fair good amount of years for the Washington Nationals. Unfortunately, his career got cut short with injuries, but when he was healthy and when he was on, he was one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. And I think that's the ceiling that we could put on Paul Skenes, to be one of the best arms in the show year in, year out. The only thing is that he's got to stay healthy. He's got a bit of a funky release point, kind of a 3/4 arm slot. So let's take a look at his pitches again. Like you could see, it's a very violent motion, especially on that slider and on the splinker as well. It's a lot of force. It's a lot of strain on that arm. And with all these talented pitchers, the one thing that you want to see is just for them to stay healthy. Doesn't matter what team you support. The league is better when you have front of the line rotation arms like Paul Skenes, pitching and healthy. Like, I know we're not all Texas Rangers fans, but don't we wish that we could watch Jacob deGrom go to work on a nightly basis, or every 5th day, that is? Like, that's what I'm looking for. Stay healthy, stay in that rotation, and he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer when it's all said and done, if he can stay on the field. But that'll wrap it up. Thank you so much for making it this far. Hopefully we see you all again tomorrow, or Monday, that is. We will not be uploading tomorrow, but we'll see you on Monday. And thank you so much for the support that we've gotten on previous videos. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and enjoy the baseball, folks.